Hello, good morning, and welcome to Nigeria Now on TOS Television Network, your digital first Pan-African news network. Nigeria Now is coming to you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. I'm Adesa Welsi, and on Nigeria Now we get to review front pages of Nigerian dailies every day. So we're going to be reviewing front pages of Nigeria. Quite a number of headlines across the dailies this morning, and that's what we're going to be looking at. But I'm not by myself. I have here with me to help, do the reviews at Debayo Fajimi. Good morning and welcome to Nigeria Now.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, you're welcome. So now moving straight into, the papers this morning, starting with the Daily Trust. I mean, there are quite a number of headlines on the Daily Trust, but the one that caught my eye is the hijab controversy in Kwara State, and saying Muslim leaders talk tough, urge Kwara to change schools' names, warn against bullying of Muslim students. Do you think, like the back and forth that we've seen over time, with the protests and all of that in Kwara State over the hijab controversy, do you think changing the name of schools would actually a step in the direction as to curbing, this whole thing?
So I don't think that's the solution. I think Nigerians, need paradigm shifts. Nigeria is a secular nation. We are not a religious nation, but I just find it very hard to understand why we carry religious upon our head, and and how it destabilizes us so much.
Yeah.
Because it's very bad. We have so many issues on ground, to tackle, rather than all these unnecessary activities that we are just indulging in. So what I think the government just needs to do is whatever the people say they want, and I think the government needs to, they don't need to, if the people say, okay, we don't want this to happen, then the government should look at an amicable way of, resolving, the issue, such that it's not going to polarize the society. It's not going to create disintegration, in the society. So changing name or whatever is not going to make any difference. But rather than that, I would suggest that the government look inward and try to see what they can do that is going to bring lasting solution. Because if you change name, it won't change the orientation, the mindset that the people are carrying. So I think that's what the government can do.
So some people have said that the solution to this is just, if you are a core Muslim and then you want to adhere to your Muslim principles, having to wear the hijab and everything, just go to a Muslim school. And if you're a Christian and then you don't want to adhere to that, just go to a Christian school. Do you think that will solve the problem?
That's why I said, if that is what the people want in the state, then the government should allow it to be, rather than enforcing what they don't want on them. So in the first place, these people put you in power. You are there because they are following you. So you are not a leader without them. So if they decide that, okay, this is what we want, then you should be able to give it to them.
Okay, all right, moving away from that to the Business Day newspaper, and it's on the Dirty Petrol saga. It says Dirty Petrol saga questions NNPC role as sole importer, and that's quite replicated across all the newspaper. We have it also on the Nigerian News Direct. Says federal government to probe contaminated for supply as expert fault NNPC over compromise of quality assurance test. Also, on the first news, says adulterated fuel, federal government replacing with 300 million liters of petrol. Do you think this will go a long way in curbing, the incessant fuel queues that we've been seeing over the last few days, in importing, 300 million liters of petrol?
Yeah, I don't really think it will, but just like the authority are saying, that they want to probe. The question is what is going to be the outcome of the probe, and I think we also need to focus more on how to avoid the recurrence of this very pathetic, hack. Because the problem with Nigerian is, when those in leadership say they want to do something, and that something bad has happened. And at the end of the day, very unfortunate, you don't see anything good coming out of it. You don't see people being prosecuted. You don't see people being held accountable that, okay, these are the set of people who perpetrated this act, and they will not be prosecuted. So rather than this, I would suggest, that the government need to make sure that this does not repeat itself, because anything that tamper that sector whatever that happened in that oil sector affects practically every Nigerian. So and you could imagine, the quantum of hardship people have faced in the last couple of days. So this we go along with if they are really ready to work and they discover what happened and they deal with it decisively such that this does not happen again.
All right. Away from that to the Blueprint newspaper, that's the banner headline on the Blueprint newspaper says it's on the Reamended Electoral bill. It says why Buhari must avoid conspiracy by power interest. That's coming from IPAC. 6 Lakers say delay has grave implications for 2023. Assent to bill will bequeath transparency, credibility, and that's coming from the Albino Foundation. This back and forth that we've been saying, I think it was the Abubakar Malami that was saying, I think it was 2 days ago, that the president might not assent to the bill if he thinks that some elements of the bill, is trying to cover people's personal interests. He might also decide to not assent to this bill. And then, do you think this will have any implication, 2023?
Well, yes, because it's going to have implication because of interest, but very fortunate now we have consensus and indirect primaries being included in the bill. And according to Malami, said he has not read the new bill that was sent, and he said he's going to read it and advise the president in the best interest of Nigeria. So, but the big wigs we want to look at, okay, which side is favorable, which is not favorable, and in Nigeria, whatever that does not that does not fall in line with the power that be will not fly. So, but I think it is a good thing. So there are many clauses in the new bill that is going to strengthen our democracy and ensure that the best rule the rest and money bags comes to an end. So let's wait and see what the position of the presidency is going to be, and then we can see what next steps to take.
But if by chance the president, for like the 6th time now, decides that, look, I'm not signing this bill, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I do not see that coming because of the new one that has been transmitted to him. I don't see that coming because at least there are some. But it's like this direct primary, indirect primary, and consensus. So it is the political party that is going to determine what method they want to use to choose who is going to represent them in governance. But I don't really see that coming, that the president will decline assent to this bill this time around. I don't really see that coming.
Okay, hopefully not. Back to the Nation newspaper. It says, just beside the first picture of the day, minister accuses ASU of blackmail. Their demands are being met. Union gives condition to avert strike. So this back and forth has been going on for the longest now. ASU goes on strike, comes back, that they've reached a memorandum, and then they say we're going back on strike because the memorandum of understanding that was signed has not been met. And the government is saying, look, we're already meeting your demands, what's going on? And then it's accusing the union of blackmail. What do you think about all of this?
Well, the question I would like to ask whoever is raising that is, for how many times have you had those politicians, how many times have you seen them, going on strike because they are not being paid? And this is a critical sector that determines the future of average Nigerians being neglected. You can imagine the percentage education carries in our budget annually. It is very pathetic. So it is high time our leaders stop playing with the future of average Nigerians, and they need to really focus and invest more in that sector. God has blessed us, and that sector has no reason to suffer for whatever reason. So I think what government needs to do is just to give them what belongs to them, and all this should just come to an end.
Okay. Do you think maybe ASU should find a way? I really wouldn't know, because I think that in as much as we have to hold the government responsible, but I think ASU also has to come to a level of understanding that, look, in as much as we're fighting for the interests of these people, these students are also suffering.
What kind of understanding? Do you know what a professor has in Nigerian university? Do you know what has become of our research system? If you know what many of these people are facing, you will pity them. I have many of them as friends, and we talk on a daily basis. They tell me what is happening. You go to most of these institutions. What do they have in their laboratories? What system do they have that is running? And that is why many of them prefer to go outside of this show and unleash their potentials. So for whatever reason, whatever they say they want, we cannot joke with them. If they are not happy, then we are playing with the future of the youth. So government should give them what they desire so that they can do their job happily.
Okay. All right. Thank you for doing this review with me this morning on Nigeria Now. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for joining me on Nigeria Now today. Don't forget, Nigeria Now comes your way again tomorrow. But before then, follow TOS TV Network across all social media platforms. That's TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. It's TOS TV Network. And of course, stream our contents on www.tostvnetwork.com. My name is Adesu Alsuyi. See you again tomorrow.